Okay, we're live right now. Welcome to the recap of the room on Tuesday, November 17th, 2022. The following notes are sponsored by subscribers like you, so thank you so much for subscribing to the channel fanbase.app/techie. So Rama, he was traveling this week, so there were a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to start off with Fanbase Plus. Now, the benefit, it allows you to monetize your unlisted YouTube videos to a brand new audience. And there were some major release announcements. For example, at Fanbase has been monitoring the feedback. Major release, Fanbase has been monitoring the feedback from the functionality of the feature, and it's been coming back very positive. Next week release may include Fanbase Plus. That means fixes to YouTube links, connections to Fanbase Plus, camps featuring exclusive rooms that are coming for camps. So we're finally going to be able to have subscriber rooms, and the benefit of this allows you to monetize your rooms and make it available only for your subscribers or those that decide to unlock the room for 500 love. And based on your feedback, some of the improvements you've been requesting for camps, for example, finding a camp member within the camp itself and be able to access the profile of them when you tap on them. When you create a direct voice room from a camp, the ability to invite people to the stage directly before the room opens. Fixing the camp title and direct voice audio room title positions. Search camps via interest, making sure your camp interest is accurate so you can attract the right type of people. There's other bug fixes coming as well, and this past month, big focus was Fanbase Plus and audio, but we'll start looking at the other verticals. Looking at the roadmap, the full roadmap can't be disclosed because other social media apps, of course, are listening and they don't want them implementing those brand new fresh ideas that Fanbase comes up with before the platform can implement them. And there's multiple roadmaps for the 6 different verticals: post, story, live, flicks, audio, and plus. So the following teams had a meeting at Fanbase: marketing, development, and product, to discuss schedule rooms. And the schedule room roadmap is really interesting with its prototyping, adjusting, and development of the project. Their goal is to include schedule rooms in direct voice audio and camps, and Rama will be scheduling in the future his room Thursday Tech Talk with Rama one time, so he won't have to do it again. So once he schedules it, it's going to be easier. And then you can see the day and time of the room every time you go to the camp and add it to your calendar. So the benefit is it'll help users keep the great rooms in mind and your personal schedule so you're aware of everything that's going on. And the functionality will be especially useful by Maria, the director of audio at Fanbase, who does an amazing job of bringing over all of these amazing speakers, creating pretty cool rooms, making it easier to keep track of the scheduled rooms that are on this app. And another part of Fanbase that's coming up is sharing Fanbase in a better way roadmap. So they've been asked by users for ways to share Fanbase and create more inbound organic growth, and in the future reward you for sharing Fanbase. That'll be part of Sprint 55, which is scheduled for the start of December. Pinning links, adding links in audio rooms, and then mid-December started Direct Message 2.0, which is changing the look, including more functionality. And then the end of December, we're looking in Direct Message 2.0, the sharing of videos, photos, audio messages inside Direct Message, with the introduction of group conversation and monetization inside Direct Message 2.0. And there are other roadmaps, but they're not sharing everything from the sprints to keep us entertained about what's coming next without giving away too much. So there were some questions from the audience. One was public roadmap. If Fanbase can provide a public roadmap that includes only the publicly mentioned projects that Fanbase has announced, knowing that internal roadmap items should remain private. Can the roadmap be located at roadmap.fanbase.app to help the users keep track of what's happening next? Rama answered it was interesting, the idea of public roadmaps that doesn't affect Fanbase competitive advantage, and how they present it and what they present is yet to be determined, but they need to talk to the team and figure out how to make that happen. Next one was concerning exclusive rooms, and it was saying user noticed that when they were in an exclusive room that they created and they temporarily gave the master Moderator crown to another user that their current subscribers were unable to join the room and only the master crown subscribers could join. Is that a bug or a feature? Answer is it's a feature, and that whoever's holding the master moderator crown is the one that controls the room. Subscribers are able to join. They can invite anyone they want into the room for free, and this is the way that an owner that is trying to fill a club may do so before adding in paying customers. Question number 3 was about comment hashtags. If I put a hashtag in a comment someone else's post, will the algorithm discover that the comment as it was in the description, so the post is tagged with that hashtag? Answer is at this time it would not affect the post. They'll be working more with hashtags in the future. New dynamic search that is probably on its way in January. They're planning on possibly having trending hashtags, and hashtags on a post was created by the content creator, while hashtags on the comment is being created by the user viewing and engaging with that content. So having to consider what weight you'd give to both hashtags, not saying that one is more important than the other. They just need some time to work on that. And if you want to hear Rama's thoughts on a question but are unable to get on stage, you want to make sure to DM me Techie so I can then ask Rama on your behalf, or you can shake the app if you want to submit it in yourself. Then we had another question about pre-scheduling. Mentioned pre-scheduling of rooms. Will that include Flix Fanbase Plus? Answer is yes. Scheduling rooms for audio will be the first iteration, but the microservices will be used for other posts. The feed's going to be refactored to include scheduling carousels to posts. Next question, tagging other users. Is there some time that you're going to make sure that when we tag people, they get notified, and also you can tap on the person that is tagged? Answer, right now, that functionality should be working on a normal post where if you tag a user, it notifies them, and if you tap on the user tag, it'll take you to their profile. The follow-up question is, might be a bug since I was trying to look at a post from Isaac Hayes, so he's the CEO of Fanbase, posted on something and tried to tap on the person that he tagged and nothing was happening, and I had to search for them, which was time consuming. The answer was that there's an issue that was discovered that depending upon if you combine the hashtag, the pound symbol, and mention, which is an @ symbol, based on how you combine them and where you put them, there's a known bug that the team is currently working on. The hashtag or mention doesn't get hyperlinked for some reason, so maybe that's what's happening. So if you know what post that is, you can find the post, shake the post, while on that post, submit the ticket so it can be submitted. The next line of questions was on the subject messaging across the app. It was concerning multiple verticals: post, story, live, Flix, audio plus. Are you going to add more DM, direct message capability within the multiple verticals? The answer is it's been asked that several times, and the excuse has been we need to get DM to the right place before we do that. Once the new version comes out, there'll be more integration of DM everywhere. Next question concerns subject of sharing the app. Question was, has brand Mark Anthony Urbanwear, that's the name of the company the person had, and wanted a way to share the app utilizing a personal link to gain followers and receive notice for it? Answer was, go to your profile today and look for 3 dots in the middle right hand side. You should be able to share your profile, and once you do, other people can access it. If they have the app, it takes them to your profile. If they don't have the app, it goes to the web profile, and then your web profile, of course, is fanbase.app/your username, whatever your username. So in my case, my username would be Techie, Techie. It was mentioned earlier today that soon Fanbase is going to improve and make it easier for you to share Fanbase, not just as your profile, but Fanbase as an app. Next question was analytics. If you want analytics that tells you who your top subscribers are, who likes your stuff the most, the person that views everything that we have, as a result making them more special on the app, and then they're actually supporting you in that way. So the answer was that we're currently figuring out how to give the users the type of data that allows them to know what kind of content and who are the people that you follow the most or pay the most for that content. So the analytics will be brought on the revenue side to see who your top subscribers are, but also where your content's being monetized the most. So having 6 verticals, and people can utilize all of them, but you want to let the creators know where the money is coming from and what type of content. So the belief is analytics is big, and excited to embrace that in the future. Next subject was customization. We want to be able to customize audio rooms with the ability to change the background color, add pictures, background things inside the audio rooms. Is that on the agenda? The answer was they talked about customization but not about the room itself. Rama thought it was a great idea and they're writing it down and putting it as part of the customization platform. They've been talking about customization of profiles in the future and a lot of other things, including the fanbase app icon. The real estate in audio rooms, though, is a lot smaller, but still might be some things that can be done. And it's a really cool idea, and Rama thanked us for sharing. Then the next subject was DM on profile. Are you going to add a DM, a direct message icon on the profile? The answer was this will be a part of the mid-December direct message 2.0. Next subject was bulk deletion. The question was, would like to delete more than one post at a time. They want to revamp the business, but they don't want to delete one post at a time. The answer was they didn't talk about that before. It sounds like a great idea, and refactoring the home feed eventually to provide more functionality such as carousels to allow for more than one post as you want. They also want to resolve some of the issues with audio going on with video when going through the feed, and Rama reported Instagram is having issues as well. So once the new feed is created, they can be more likely implemented, and then you can see how you can go to the profile and choose multiple selections and delete them. Next subject was avatars. Can you create the ability to create your own avatar inside the audio room? Answer was first need to tighten some of the current loose ends. And they have structure-wise. It will then allow for an entire layer of other customization, including the ability for people to create their own masks and filters. And that's not going to happen until Q1 or Q2 2023, but definitely the customization aspect there has been discussed before. And then on fan-based feedback, feedback is not ignored no matter what the idea is, even if the team have heard it 10 times. Hearing 100 times from the same user doesn't carry the same weight as 100 times from 100 users. They keep statistics on the feedback of what the user needs and wants. Even if you think something is coming, it's worth submitting the feedback so then it gets added to the statistics. Now, the OMGBLOS, TheOMGBLOSS, who asked a lot of questions in the room, is creating a joint feedback effort. There is a Google Doc that's available. You'll find that in the description below on the YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, or on my Fanbase profile, if you tap on my profile, I'll just show you view full profile, go to the beacons. It'll ask you, do you want to leave Fanbase? Are you sure? Welcome back. We just had a little glitch, but we're just going to continue where we left off. But that is how you would go about if you want to join that Google Doc. You can always message me as well. Once again, fanbase.app/techie. And you can find out more information about that, or check out TheOMGBLOSS and send them your email address through the DM, and then you can join in that. It's an unofficial way of providing feedback. So the official way, of course, is shaking your device to submit feedback. And the developers are coming every Thursday, so it's very important to share this in Rama's actual room, which takes place on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Moving on to the next part, the subject was submitting ideas to Fanbase. So they had an excellent idea for Fanbase that's currently trying to implement on Instagram, but feels that Instagram's dishonest and they want to see it on Fanbase, involving social commerce. How do they pitch this? By sending a pitch deck and the website for this so that they can consider it. The answer was, do not send a pitch deck in the first email that you send. Email support@fanbase.app and mention that you were at Rama's room and you were speaking to him, and they will then assign the ticket to him. In this way, if you are not comfortable with sharing it publicly, we can then take it from there. Next question was concerning video and audio rooms. And when it came to that, the question was, as someone that does, let me just see a second because I just had a little visitor. As someone that does celebrity interviews, if I'm in an audio room and interviewing someone and want to bring someone from the audience up to ask a question or participate in some way, is there a way to request video to bring them up? So instead of just going and requesting for their audio, they wanted to go in to add that extra functionality of video. So what Rama answered is, what's interesting about having different verticals is that it allows for different senses. So they're talking in an audio room and unable to see, and there's actually a benefit to that as well. There are opportunities for Fanbase to mix those senses, and not going to say it's not going to happen. They have the capability to do it, but they also want to respect those users that love to be able to just talk and hear and don't really have a need to see. Interesting concept, they need to think about it. Next question. They want a way to be able to have a room recorded of the content to bring more attention to this application, to bring more people to Fanbase. The answer was recording your audio room is part of the roadmap for audio rooms, and if you are in the audience, you're actually able to record the room. I was inspired by that myself, and I was like, wait a second, you could record the room. So currently it's not ideal how you have to do it, but essentially you can do it through the phone, but it's definitely coming in the roadmap of doing recording. So I'm really excited the idea of trying this out and posting this up on YouTube and then sending the YouTube link over to Fanbase so that way my subscribers can hear a recap of this later should they desire. We'll probably keep the room available for everybody and then maybe make an archive. I don't know. I have to see how I want to do this. Next question was sharing post to stories. When will it get easier to share a post to your stories? So with the new DM 2.0 coming, you'll be able to share everything that's on Fanbase. Stories is going to be revamped once that's completed, and stories have been monitored, which is great. But to take it to the next level, they have to restructure it. On a separate note, it's great to know that there's super users of these various verticals, and there are actually super users of all the different verticals, and Rama's been following those various users. Next question was multiple master moderators. Is there any chance we can have more than one master moderator? So if something happens with either master moderator, the room stays open. I was most fascinated by this. They said that they talked about it all the time, and they started with the pain point of how that can be solved. Can they do what is being asked? And yes, they can. But the pain point here is because of connection issues or other types of issues with the phone when the master moderator leaves the room and it gets closed and it interrupts the conversation. So they implemented a functionality that is invisible to the end user, which allows the master moderator to rejoin the conversation before the room gets closed. This happened to me earlier where I was talking and all of a sudden I got out of the room for a second and the room didn't close. So that's really good to know that it's working. So if your phone dies and your room closes right away, that's actually an issue. And this time frame is around 2 minutes to several minutes where the room will stay open even with the master moderator gone. They can recognize when a room gets closed intentionally versus unintentionally, and that way they know that the master moderator needs time to come back before the room gets closed, before it was an unintentional dropout. And they may in the future decide to have 2 master moderators, but right now this is the current fix, hopefully solving the pain points. And then there was another person that was asking about security issues. They said a member joined the camp and they had to remove the member. They had to unfollow the person, shake the phone to send a screenshot of the issue. Then they had to block the person, and then the person continued rejoining the camp every single day. And then they had to keep removing them. And the functionality as a camp administrator that if you remove someone from the room, they're not able to rejoin the room without invitation. They'd like to see that happen before Q1 2023. So the answer was it's going to be worked on. They know it. They've identified it. They know it needs to be worked on. So if you remove someone from the room, they're going to make it so that they will not be able to join again. The blocking functionality currently is very complex, and there's so many verticals and so many scenarios, and they identified over 400 use cases. So figuring out when you block someone and what you need to do to have full control when it comes to interacting with that person is a little bit more difficult than people imagine. And they prioritized whatever was the most common ones, like if you block someone and then they don't have access to your profile or content. It's going to happen before Q1 2023. Not really sure if that can actually happen due to the complexity that's involved in multiple verticals. So going to do the best to get it done, but can't promise it'll happen before Q1. And keep talking to tech support if there's any specific needs, because There may be other ways to temporarily support. And then there was a special announcement of start involving more of the fanbase team with his camp, technology and fanbase, and also other camps. And starting next week, the start of tech support pop-up rooms is happening. So that means Vicky and some of the other tech support reps are going to be creating rooms at random times with little to no notice. And any issue you want to share, you can share in those rooms. If you don't want to replace getting tickets, that's the way that they don't forget about anything. So it's still important to shake the app, and they want to mix it up a little bit, and they want to make sure that you know that there are human beings beyond the tech support and tickets. If there are simple things that are happening and they can help right away, they'll solve it right away. And then Rama saw that Stephen was in the basement and must be thinking that there's being pressure put on. And they said that they've been discussing about the fanbase team members onboarding new users or even existing users and help them. This is going to start in the next month or so, and by having team members use the app, it's going to help out not just the user base, but also get a better understanding of what the user is currently experiencing. So then I myself, Techie, asked if these rooms are going to be marked by an official logo to separate them from the user-initiated new users and support rooms. So right now we're doing the support room, but it's not an official fan-based support room. And so Rama answered if they don't want to discourage rooms like this, where we're going and we're talking and we're discussing things and making sure people are aware of what's going on. But at the same time, they want to make sure that they showcase them in a unique way. So that way you know it is a fan-based official room. The director of voice audio, Maria, is most excited about scheduling rooms and getting more commitment out of your followers to attend. And according to Maria, audio rooms are critical, building rapport with other users. The line is always open and DMs are open if there's anything else you want to speak about. So that was the conclusion of the room. Let's go and take a quick look who's here right now. Sim Young, thank you so much for the love. We're going to go and just give you an invite to stage. Durasco, you're a subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you'd like to add any commentary, this is your opportunity. Otherwise, I'd like to thank... Okay, Sim, welcome. And this is being recorded, by the way.
Oh, thank you for the invite to the stage. I just wanted to thank you for the update on the recent meeting that Rama had of just providing information on some of the things on the horizon with Fanbase, and just also thank you for just your example of how Fanbase can be used. So thank you very much.
No, I appreciate that so much, and thank you for giving the love, because honestly, this is all based volunteer based. Even though I'm like an investor, and I'm really proud of the work that's happening on Fanbase. Like people giving love and subscribing is what's keeping the motivation going. So every little bit helps. So thank you so much for aiding in that. And I'm definitely excited because I know a lot of people have been going and saying, like, Techie, can you go and recap the room in your own language and kind of explain what's being said? Because a lot of the things are very, very technical. So not only do I have the written out report, which I'm going to do my best to do, but there's going to be some points where it's like I'm not going to be able to actually do it. So, for example, Thanksgiving, I don't think I'm going to be able to join the room that's happening next Thursday. But normally, as there's actual rooms going and such, and especially because Rama gives me the ability to be up there with him, and we're also working on accessibility and some other things behind the scenes, it's just an honor to be able to go into utilize that information and disseminate it in such a way so people understand what exactly is going on with Fanbase, because I don't know if anyone's fully taken the reins on being a cheerleader slash helper in guiding people to understand that this is a brand new app. There is a great opportunity right now to invest in the app, startengine.com/fanbase, and it's a very unusual situation, especially with the final crowdfunding happening. Sim, I'll let you have the last word.
I don't have anything to add. Again, I'll just reiterate. I guess been on Fanbase for about a year now, and I know you're one of the first individuals that I've encountered on the app or seen actively on the app, and I've seen some of the creative ways that you've used the app. I think you've had some silent networking rooms that I thought was a very unique way for um, fan-based business owners to kind of get the word out there about their business. And appreciate this recap that you've done. I actually was on the call, but I think the way that you explained it helped take something that can be very technical and put it into layman's terms. So I thank you for all the time and effort that you put into preparing this recap and all the support that you've shown the fan base over the course of its existence.
No, I totally appreciate that, and especially just with the understanding, like when we were doing the silent networking rooms, with the library, what the original notice was that people weren't really making audio rooms, so we needed people to actually meet people, and so it gave an icebreaker approach because there were just not enough audio rooms happening. It's a very different dynamic, so it doesn't necessarily work in the same way, because people are actually talking to each other, which is amazing. But yeah, no, it's there's a lot of pivots that need to happen, and if anybody's listening right now, especially if you're on YouTube and such, like one thing that Isaac was mentioning is that if there's a million new users that come to Fanbase, they're going to implement a Twitter version of Fanbase, which means that everybody that's been worried about what's going to be happening with Black Twitter, that Black Twitter can migrate over to Fanbase. And that's going to just add even a higher, more amazing level. So I'm not even sure how we can get a million new users, but I'm sure it can happen.
Well, I look forward to that occurring. Who knows? We may need to have a fan base room just to brainstorm some ideas on how that can happen.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so with that, I am going to end the recording and thank everybody for joining me on the YouTube. We'll continue our own conversation in the fan base room, and if this ends up working out, and you enjoyed this content, make sure to give it a like on YouTube, give it a love on Fanbase, and spread it around to anybody that's been wondering what's been going on Fanbase, because there's a lot of excitement that's brewing, and you're gonna want to be a part of it now and not wait. Of course, you can invest, startengine.com/fanbase, or if you need somebody to follow around, you can always join me, fanbase.app/techie, Techie. I look forward to hearing the comments below, both on Fanbase and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.